everyone. Did you know that the first word in the Pledge of Allegiance is I? And did you know the last word is all? It's not just I, it's all of us. And it kind of talks about what Paula was saying about opportunity, is that in this country we have the best opportunity of anywhere else to live. And in this company, we have the best opportunity of anywhere to work. You know, if you can make a sale in this company, you can make a living. If you make a commitment, you can make your dreams come true. We have commitment phobia. Kevin asked to talk about commitment. I thought, oh, all right, well, we've all heard about commitment. And there's different things commitment means. Does it mean you're going to go out and get a sale today and that's your commitment? Does it mean you're going to start on Monday and by Friday I've got my store done? That's your commitment that week. Does it mean you're mediocre in commitment? Or does it mean you're committed to your team and you want to help the company run? There's different levels of commitment. And then Kevin said, why don't you tie it into like grow your garden into a garden theme? I'm going, okay, well I had the last half of the speech written, but I thought, how am I going to make this into a garden theme, talk about commitment? Well, I see all the plants around here, so I guess it kind of works. So anyway, you know, it's like when you go out into your market and the team leader gives you a place to go and you have to plow your field. First thing you do, you have to go to your market, you have to plow your store, you have to plow your field. And after you plow your field, you have to get your seeds. What are your seeds? Well, they're going to be your prospects. They're going to be your new customers. And they're going to be things you want to plant in your garden. I don't like okra, I'm from the north. I don't plant okra in my garden, that's for sure. But I plant things I like. And I plant things that make me happy. Just yesterday morning, about 6 o'clock, watering my rose bushes. I like my roses I planted. They were just twigs wrapped in plastic. My kids said, what are those, Mom? Those are my new rose bushes. Really? I'm out there watering those twigs every day. You know what? If you see my Facebook page, you see I have a rose I cut. I put in a vase of mountains. I saw, when I planted those rose bushes, what it could be. When you plow your field and plant your seeds, you can see what it can be. But you know, it's not just going out and plowing your field and planting your seeds and growing your garden. The most important part comes after you planted your garden. And you go off to your next market, and you get your next store done, and you've planted your seeds. But the important comes back, the important part is not just planting your garden, it's growing your garden. It's making sure you do what you say you're going to do, and it's making sure you get back to your stores on a timely basis. And it's making sure that you're nurturing your garden, you're cultivating it, you're watering your garden, and most importantly, you're weeding your garden. We'll talk about ugly weeds in a minute. But when you go back to your market, you know, with people on multi-cycles, credit cards down, you don't really have to even see that customer in person. Our competition doesn't, I can tell you that for sure, they never come around. We do. And there are some markets I do, and I spend one day just visiting. I take the red copy, how you doing, you know, what's going on, just visit. I could get that town done in one day, but I don't. I spend the extra day and go back. I pick up checks and see my friends. But the first day, I'm watering my garden. I spend the time to visit. That's important to them, and that's what's grown our relationship. Keeps the competition out. They like you. Another thing about growing your garden is making sure your tape's going to run. You know, you can send the tape, you can count your rolls, and you know, some of these small farming towns, they have these huge, massive stores. You know, there's just no way you can get enough money out of that town to supply that market. So what I've learned, we go back 5 times a year. And I think I counted 4 of my markets I did 6 times last year. But they're happy. I've watered my garden. I've kept my customers happy. They'd rather see you and have their ad running than to not have it running and to have the tape be short. Only run 3-4 weeks. Because that's what would happen a lot of the times. When you're not going back to your market and you're not watering your garden and you ignore it and you let it sit for a while, weeds start to grow. Big, ugly, nasty weeds. Now, I pick mine out all the time. The little bitty ones I can just pluck out. But if you let the garden sit, the ugly weeds start to grow. And pretty soon, those ugly weeds are going to choke everything in your garden. And what is an ugly weed? Competition. They're always after us. We're always after them. We see a garden not being taken care of, there's weeds growing, we approach them. Jim Murray can tell you that. That's how we get stores. We promise them we can do a better job, we'll take care of your garden, we'll water it, we'll nurture it, we'll cultivate it, we'll pull the weeds out. We're going to do a better job. This happened just in April, and Kevin, we talk about it because it is a lesson that we had a store chain for 10 plus years. And we had taken good care of it for a long time. And this last year, there were some markets we weren't getting back as much, and they were large markets. One market I counted, we sent 7,200 rolls of tape to that market to 3 stores last year. It still wasn't good enough. And another market, we weren't even supplying them nearly what they needed. I had trusted the rep was doing their job, and they were counting the rolls, and that's what they had to have. I have to be more committed into checking my markets and making sure that they are getting the rolls they need and not just trust what I'm being told. So what happened was, we hadn't been in the market as much as we should have been, and pretty soon the weeds started to grow. And pretty soon the vegetables and the flowers were getting choked out. And pretty soon we had just a few left. And pretty soon the weeds were taking over. And so we had one big, ugly, nasty weed we couldn't pull out of the ground, and it was a struggle to keep it. After a few weeks, we were able to hang on to the market, and it was the Demon Food Chain, and it would have wiped out Central Illinois. They decided to stay with us and give us a chance to make it better, to grow the garden like it should have been, like it used to once be. And whenever I go to a store, and people I train will tell you this, I walk through that store. Even though I've done it 6+ years, I walk through that grocery store every single time I'm in there. They all know me, the cashiers, the store manager knows me. I go fighting. Just saw one last week, he's down, I'm walking through the butcher. Hey, I'm here, hey Jim, comes out. Thanks for the free tape, Jackie. You know, make sure they see you. Have a presence. Well, I haven't seen that rep for a long time. Are they still doing our program? Sometimes if you're not going back to your stores and you're not saying hello, they'll really forget you. And I learned this by going into a market that I was going to revamp, and they hadn't seen the rep for quite some time. They weren't going in there. They weren't making a presence. They didn't have their business card. How do they know who is sending the receipt tape if they don't have a personal connection with that rep or have a business card? So after I went to one of the stores in Champaign, and it's a large store, they do 1.5 million visitors a year, and we were not even giving up tape for 2-3 weeks. It was just, you know, it was horrible. So I'm walking through the store to check it out. I hadn't been in the store before, and I wanted to see what it was like. They had built the store on campus, where the front of the store is hooked to student housing, and the back of the store is where the customers can park and walk in the store. As I'm walking through the store, I took the time to do it. After I met the store director in the storeroom, he said, hey, he came and found me. He said, the president of Neiman Foods is in the store. I said, oh, no, it's not. I've never met him. He goes, oh, no, he's really here. He's in produce. I said, why is the president of Neiman Foods in produce? I'm always waiting for somebody. I said, take me with you. Oh, no, he ran the other way. So I'm like, okay, so maybe he's telling the truth. So I walk over to produce, and over there by the apples is a guy dressed in a very nice suit, and I'm going, well, that must be the president of Neiman Foods. Walked up and introduced myself and shook my hand. He said, you here to take care of the market? I said, yes, we are restarting the market, and I thank you for the chance. I thank you for the chance to grow your market back to where it was and develop our relationship with what we once had. But the story of this is, we're not all safe. We're not all comfortable. Even though we did a lot of their stores 5-6 times a year, that's not good enough. They want all their stores done. And they want all their tape. Things are getting expensive. We knew it was going to happen. We're getting more and more stores because the paper cost has increased so much this year. I knew that was going to happen. We're getting Hy-Vees that never ever wanted to have tape before. K-Cup Iowa, 6 years, never had a store. Now they want us. It's happening because the tape cost is so massive. But we're not all safe, and we're not all comfortable. And if you're not taking care of your garden, those weeds are going to get in. And they're going to stump everything out. No matter what you've done, you're not going to lose that one garden. You're going to lose the entire crop. You know, Mario Rubio said at the Republican convention that something I haven't forgotten. He said his father worked hard in the back of the room so he could stand up in front of the room. You know, it's not just I, it's all of us. And I'd like all of the team leaders to come for a minute. And Kevin and Roger. You can't have your harvest until you grow your garden. Dad, what are you still sitting there for? You can't have your harvest until you've grown your garden. And we all want the harvest. We all want the fruits of our labor. And we all want for me to go out and cut my beautiful roses every day.
Can I take a picture, please? Thank you.
I'm going to read this and I'll get it wrong. If you make a sale, you can make a living. If you're committed, you can make the dreams come true. We stand up here in front of the room so you that chose to come here today can stand up here with us and have that same opportunity. You don't have to plant the entire tree, just plant the first seed.